Kyle the Pug.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kyle the Pug Podcast, episode number 22. We are recording on August 10th, 2020. It is 4 days after my birthday. You know, if you guys, like I said, you guys told me happy birthday last week on Thursday. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Even the belated birthday wishes, you guys are amazing. Thank you very much for that. And, of course, I am here with, of course, he is basically the Luigi to my Mario. What's up, Matt? How you doing?
Me and Luigi.
Hey,
I'm a number one.
Hello. But how you doing, man? What's going on with you? I know you seem a little bit stressed out, so
No,
just
it's work. It's just work always does that to me. But yeah, I actually been trying to get some videos cranked out. I couldn't get any of my pre-Avenger stuff cranked out fast enough because the computer was going extremely slow. But
So yeah, how is that game? If you got to play it,
I recorded a good 25 minutes. It was meant to be at least in the first portion of the beta.
So you were kind of like
glitch.
trying to go for like hour 45, maybe 2 hours max, possibly, like recording footage. Maybe
whatever was whatever I can get on like at least the first part of it. There's different sections of it that I want to do it in pieces recordings, but then there was some glitch that happened when you're playing as Widow on the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm
like, well, that's it.
I mean, like I was saying earlier before we started the recording, it's a beta. Of course, it's gonna, things are gonna be a little bit out of touch.
It'll be back on the 14th, and so I'll be able to go right back into it. That's when everybody on PlayStation will be able to play it.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll usually like have some updates and bugs and fixes and all that, like when they have the update on weekend 2 for the beta. But anything else on your backlog that you've been working on? Nothing, too spectacular?
Beta, the Tomb Raider series.
Oh, you're still working on that.
Whenever
You're grinding this. You're on that grind, my guy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and then Penguin introduced me to the Ghostbusters video game remastered. Actually, it's it was really cheap on the PSN this weekend. I was able to get it for a very, very, very cheap price, which is awesome. Thank you, Penguin.
Nice. Got a sweet deal out of it too.
Yeah, I might do some Rocket League in the future. I got back into that with Spiky Chicken. Getting back into that game.
You got back in the Rocket League. That's gonna be for free, by the way, if on very, very soon, later this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gonna be on that grind. I'll probably do some streams of that. Like, I need to do like another stream. I know it's been a while since I played, but we'll definitely get back on the grind.
Too last night as well, so that I did do one stream of that.
Oh. So have you won any games yet?
Nothing yet. I came extremely close. A couple, like the night we played with Bear and Panda, and then yesterday I came extremely close, but then I guess one of the mallets hit me forward and knocked me over. It knocked me progressively forward, but the guy who was in front of me didn't get hit by it, and he was able to flawlessly get to the ground.
Oh, he was just... It's like he goes right through the mallet, and then when like the mallet hits you, it's just like you just get like knocked like a bunch of spaces forward.
I mean, it helped me get forward, but then it didn't help me to get up fast enough, and so...
Yeah, it seems like
enjoyable.
It seems like your character takes a long time to get up, like every time.
Yeah.
Like even like when you jump from like not even like 2 feet high, like your character will still stumble.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the name of the game apparently. So you rumble, bumble, and stumble. So that's kind of to that. But yeah, we'll talk about that here coming up on the show here in just a few minutes. But what I've been up to, first of all, I've just beat Luigi's Mansion 3 last night. Woohoo! Finally beat who was it? I don't remember the second to final boss. I know it's like a ghost chick, but I don't remember her actual name. But she was kind of a bit challenging though, because you got to use Luigi and Gooigi underground just to like turn off the power, just to stun her. Well, not really to stun her though, but you turn off the power basically, and she'll start attacking you. And once she does like a mega attack and she misses, basically you just stun her with a light, and then you just suck her up in the vacuum. I know there was nothing sexual about that, reply or comment, but this is a family-friendly podcast, so we're going to try to keep it going as much as possible here. So yeah, I beat her, pause, and I also beat King Boo as well. So, yeah, King Boo is pretty challenging right at the end. I mean, it's King Boo, he's the king of all the ghosts. Yeah, Boo. Boo. Yeah, he was a pretty challenging ghost. Thank God I had 7 bones, because I think I died 4 out of the 7 attempts. So I had basically what bones means is you have 7 lives. So I died, as a combination total, on the mini boss and the final boss. I died. I think it might have been 5 times. I'm not sure. I think did I? Okay, so it was 4 times. Yeah, I think it was 5 times on the the 2 bosses combined. And I didn't complete every single objective. I mean, I did complete the main story, but I am going to go back to it at a later point, so that way I can collect all the gems and all the cash and whatever's missing in there just for 100% completion. That'll be later on. So, yeah. My next Nintendo objective I'm going to be doing, as you guys are seeing this right now, is Paper Mario the Origami King. I am going to be playing that right after the show, and after... Well, not right after the show, but because I got to... long story short, I got couple things I got to do here before before I touch up on that game. But everybody's liking the game. I'm definitely gonna take a look at it, and if I feel like it's got some RPG elements to it, and I'm not really huge into RPG stuff unlike Pokemon and obviously Undertale for starters. But so I'll probably like it. I think it seems like a pretty chill, fun story. Because everybody's saying it's a challenge, but hey, you know me, I like a challenge. Bring it on. But
bring it.
Exactly. So that's stuff on the Nintendo side that I've been working on. But PlayStation, as I mentioned, I was streaming Fall Guys earlier, like everybody else has been playing Fall Guys, and I'm just gonna say this honestly, as of right now, it's so addicting. I know it's something I'm actually not really good at, but I'm alright at the game. I can get by in majority of the first rounds, absolutely, no problem. But, going, the third rounds, fourth rounds, then it starts to get, a little bit more difficult and challenging in a sense. And you can ask Matt, because he's also played this too. And I'm going to just throw this out there. There's been over 2 million players on Steam throughout the, just after 5 days after the release of the actual game, which is absolutely insane. This game just took off, just skyrocketed all the way up through the first week. It's nuts how so many people on console and PC are playing it, which is absolutely just mind-boggling. That's all it is. It's nuts. I mean, there's nothing much I gotta say about that, but Matt, you were telling me that you were having fun with this. What do you think? Is there any fixes that you would like to have during the game?
They kind of addressed it with initially the lag. I think when you were playing with someone on the East Coast server, well, I know when we were playing with Bear, I was lagging like crazy. The gameplay.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. There was a little bit of a lag because East Coast West Coast connection and all that, but
with that fixture, that would be nice to have. But also, I think what's that? One other thing is, I think that, I think there's one aspect, I can't remember what the aspect was at this point, but I think with the path, maybe the path can be a little longer. They have it 40 tiers, but if it's going to be 60 days, people can hit that in one week easily.
Oh yeah, exactly. I feel like
100 tiers, honestly.
Okay, what's your favorite game mode on there? Just out of curiosity, and which one is one that you do not like?
I don't like the one where you're shifting left and right, and you have to basically stay afoot on there without falling in.
Oh wait, which one is that? Are you talking about Block Party, or are you talking about Rollout?
No, Rollout I think is what it is.
Rollout, it's super easy. You just gotta it's timing. That's all it is. You just gotta know where you're going.
When people are grabbing at it makes it a little more difficult.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
gapping.
Oh yeah.
The whole I think one of my favorites is actually the slime climb, Panda hates
slime
that
climb.
one, but
A slime
like
climb.
Slime.
It's.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with slime climb, I just tell you this right now. It's super. Well, it's not super easy, but it's easy when it's like there's nobody around you. It's more of a patience game the first time. Like if you're patient, you can actually get through it no problem. At least like 80, 85, 90% of it. It's just the last two parts that are actually kind of difficult with the slime up the slope, and of course you got like the pendulum Pokeballs that are just like, you know, going just like going back and forth like for left and right, so you just gotta avoid getting hit. But it's more of a patience thing with that. It's not really about finishing first, it's just trying to survive. And that's what I feel like with majority of these games in the first round too, because as long as you survive, then you're good. You basically qualify out of like a certain number of people. And that's why I kind of do like for my advantage sometimes. It's just like, okay, you know, I have a mindset where, you know, I don't have to like win every single time like in the first or second round. I just want to survive. That's all I want to do. I can just go at my own pace. It's like a marathon, not a sprint, you know? So my favorite, let's see my favorite. So I'm going to go the exact opposite here. Rollout's actually one of my favorites because I literally have no trouble with that. I can actually like predict the jumping and the path like right away. It's just basically looking ahead and just being aware of your surroundings. And I feel like that's one of been like my strong traits in video games, is just being aware of my surroundings when it comes to like survival stuff. And I mean, you can tell from like experience from like Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight, all those horror games we played. But yeah, so that is one of them. I think another one that I do like is the egg scramble one. The egg scramble is actually one of my favorites for sure.
When you have good teammates, though. If you're doing it solo, it's a pain in the ass because your teammates are busy grabbing eggs.
I mean, I've actually
idiots.
I've actually had some pretty good luck. So apart from like a couple people like grabbing me like over and over and over again, like even my own teammates. I think it was like once or twice that happened. But yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite game modes. I mean, I love playing goalie in the basket, so I could just like block people from taking my eggs out of the basket and try to prevent them from going into their basket. You know, it's like one of my traits on here. That's like one of my few favorites. Just like troll people on there. But let's see. There was another one that I like, and I'll get to the ones I dislike here in a few seconds. So there's one more I did like, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but I can't quite put my number on it. What was the other one? Oh my god, this is gonna kill me thinking about it. It's not Slime Climb because we already touched up on that. What was the rotating one where it's the very first round where you got the wheels going around? I can't remember it.
The wheels going around.
It's
Is that the fan
it's
one?
like Dizzy Heights or something. It's like Dizzy
Heights. It starts with the rotating one. If you fall off, you actually have a path to walk back up there again.
Yeah, I mean that one's not too bad. That was like one of my other favorites because it's super easy as well.
Well, yeah, and then you get the random balls dropping down the ramp as you're going over, and yeah.
Yeah,
I mean that barely touches you and it knocks your character out. Apparently,
it's just like it just so and then okay, so I named 3 that I liked, and then I'll name 3 that I dislike. First one is Fruit Shoot. Oh my god, every time it's so heartbreaking when you feel like you're gonna make it all the way up to the top, then it's just all of a sudden a big giant watermelon comes out of nowhere and just hits you, and then all of a sudden you're just falling all the way down, like, you know, 15 feet down the ramp all the way back to the beginning. So that's like it's very, very unsatisfying, to be honest, and I just not a huge fan of that whatsoever. The second one I don't like is Block Party. Block Party's kind of a I mean, it gets super fast, like, when the time goes on, but I just have those moments, like, out of nowhere where people just, like, push me, and I can't move for, like, 3 seconds, and then the blocks just, like, just knock me off. That's, like, it's super, super terrible. And the third one I don't like is Memory Match, or, what was it? Memory Match, Free Picture Match? Whatever that's called.
Yeah, the one where you have to match the fruit up, and then like starts with 2, and then ends up being.
Yeah, I mean it's not too bad. I haven't died on that part, well, yet, but basically, what I'm looking at is just basically you can kind of cheat the system a little bit just to see where everybody else goes. So
Yeah.
basically all you got to do is just kind of cheat the system with that.
Unless someone's trolling you and they're like, three people are walking towards one to try to get you to go there, and then they just
They'll try to knock you off
everyone.
though. They will actually try to knock you off. Like,
Yeah.
but even though
I'm
you're
always-
safely on a square, they will try to like be these.
I am always grabbing somebody when I'm in the middle of that or on the side. I'm like, nope, you're not pushing me off, buddy.
Like, oh my god, excuse me, I had to cough there for a second. But yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I haven't died on there yet, like I was saying before, but like I said, that can change at any given moment at any given time. So, I'm just not trying to count any chickens yet, but I think the most times I've ever like got eliminated on, I think it might have been Block Party. Block Party's probably like the most times I've ever been eliminated on, but that's just me.
I'm not gonna lie, before I streamed it last night, I was on a cold streak. I mean, I was getting beaten matches where I shouldn't be getting beaten.
Yeah, I have those
Thankfully,
moments too.
Oh my gosh, it was trigger inducing, man. But,
I mean, the game is trigger inducing. Like it's
Yeah.
made for funny moments, and it's made for moments where you get angry. And like I said, I can get angry at times. I've had frustrating moments where I've had, I feel like I'm gonna get so close to winning just to have my expectations set high, and all of a sudden my hopes and dreams are just like, dashed just like that, and it's very heartbreaking. I know the heartbreak of defeat. I've been there. I've done that. But that just strives me to do better.
Yeah.
Just strives me to be the very best. But your mic volume's kind of lowering a little bit, so yeah, just wanted to make sure you fix that. But one day I'll get a win. I'm just saying. Okay, there we go. That's better. But one day I will get a win. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
It might take some time, but I'll definitely get one. As long as I have one win, then that's all that matters to me. I'm perfectly fine and good to go. But what's your favorite final round matchup? Like if you had to pick.
Not the hexagon. Actually, the hexagon last night, I actually almost won. There was like 6 of us left, and I was at the top until when there was like two of 6 were dead already. I was at the very, very top tier, and then I jumped, and then somehow it disappeared and just dropped me down to the next level, and I was good. I was jumping and jumping and jumping, and then all of a sudden, a little bit of a lag spike happened on the host's end, and it glitched me over to like the 4th tier. I'm like, oh crap. Then I like, fell and fell.
Yeah,
and fell.
people
I
will
actually almost made it.
Well, people will try to like actually like take away like block tiers where you land, so that way you make you fall. I've actually done that with the middle people.
Here's the dumb thing though, is I was in the very final tier and I was doing great. I was jumping from hexagon to hexagon, and then there was one that was a little farther to jump, so I had to dive at it. So I jumped and dove. A great timing the jump and dive, and all of a sudden my character, instead of landing center, hits the side and falls off. And I'm like, what? How the hell did that happen? I timed the jump perfectly.
Yeah, sometimes I'll like try to time my like double jump to like try to time it perfectly, and then there'll be like moments where like my character won't even jump like on the hexagon thing. See, that's like kind of in the middle. That's kind of like in the middle for me, for like because you either love it or you hate it. But it's one of those moments where just like it's, at least for me, it's like right in the middle. I don't know about you guys thinking that, but I just feel like it's that final mode is pretty much in the middle. But my favorite one would probably have to be the mountain climb or the mountain run, whatever that's called now. I don't remember what it was called, but it's just basic, straightforward. Try to run up to get the crown, avoid the obstacles. That's something you basically want.
That's my favorite too, yeah.
And the one I don't like is the royal fumble, where you got to basically grab the tail and then basically grab ass and then just hold on, just to be the one with the tail at the end of the time limit, just to actually get the win. And yeah, that can be kind of stressful because you're gonna have and I was actually earlier today I was actually in the because there was only 3 people left and there was only 2 games, because we did slime climb first, because there was like, and then because this is so insane what happened. So I was one of the top 3 people that finished in slime climb. 57 others got eliminated in the slime climb. There was only 3 left, including me. So, and then the last game was Royal Fumble, which I was kind of boned because there were only 3 of us, and I didn't have the tail, sadly. So it was just one of those moments where it's if you have the tail and there's like less people in the lobby, I feel like it's gonna be an easy W. And to be honest, it was really, really I just had terrible luck on my end. Which I thought I grabbed the tail off of him, but at the same time it was just like it's like R2, it's like you grab it like right at the tail right on him and it doesn't even grab it, you know? I've had that moment earlier, which is stupid. It's just so dumb.
Well, it's funny too because it's funny you mention that because there was an occasion where I ran into there was the grab tail one and I was doing so great and then I had the tail for a good 30 seconds. It was actually the longest I've ever held it. It was actually I think
the longest I ever held it was like 0.91 seconds with all those people.
Here's the most unrealistic thing though that I didn't like at all. And Bear can attest to this because this happened to me and he was in the finals with me. Is that I was running around and this dude is like, I kid you not, he was 3 feet away from me, and all of a sudden he reaches from 3 feet away, and his guy grabs my tail. I'm like, what? Like he's not even near me. But
he's literally just like Stretch Armstrong, just to grab the tail.
Yeah, go gadget arm basically. So then all of a sudden when I'm doing the same thing, I'm trying to grab him 3 feet away, it doesn't work. But then when I'm like within an inch of him, I put the grab thing, I grab towards him. He's right there, he's not moving left to right or anything, so I can grab him, and it's not registering that I'm grabbing the tail. I'm literally touching the tail, and it's not grabbing it. I'm like, come on, makers, you're killing me here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they should, like, at least patch up a couple of those glitches, honestly. Like, there's been some times where actually somebody was actually telling me that you kind of fall through the floor of the map or something, which is kind of weird, which I can understand. It makes sense. Like, I know there's some glitches that need to be patched again, but
right.
To be honest, it's I mean, I haven't had that happen to me yet, though. I think there was another game I forgot to mention that I hate very much, and this is pretty common. Yeah, I knew there was one thing that I forgot to mention, the seesaw one. There will be people
I know why.
on the seesaw. No, there will be people on the seesaw literally just standing up there right at the top, and they won't even move, and then you just have other people like fall. Literally just block the path. That's all it's going to take.
Well, the thing is with that, though, is that I know there was that one where we were trying to go and go and go, and it kept just waiting for like 20 minutes, it seemed like, to get the hell out of there. What my strategy is when that happens to me, and I had that happen to me yesterday too when we got off. This guy was doing the same thing. I just walked behind and went around. I mean, it cost me a good 15 seconds, but at least I got around the dumb A. It's like, well, sorry, buddy, you're not the only platform I can jump on, so bye.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, there was other platforms that were like, it was basically the same thing. The seesaw was going, it was like the 2 seesaws that were right next to each other were like kind of like parallel, just like this.
No.
Yeah, so that's why I couldn't get over it. It was really, really irritating.
Bear and Panda brought up a good point. When we were playing with them, Panda was saying, like, I always asked her, like, why are you diving every time you jump? She's like, no, that's the way you land perfectly. So I was like, no, not really, because I've dove before, and I ended up, like, falling off the thing, because you roll
I've never
off.
tried that. I've honestly never tried that.
And this is a fun fact for those who tune in the podcast, you're getting an inside track on this to survive that. If you
Twitch or YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, if you jump, it's no matter what angle the thing is at. If you jump when there's obviously nobody around you, obviously, but if you flat jump about that and you hit the dive just before you're about to land, your character will land flat and he'll pop right back up, no problem. Whereas yesterday, especially when it's completely almost like a perfect, completely just tilted on its side like you had, where it's like, hello, can it move now? That actually works out when you have that kind of angle too, because when you're just landing straight up, obviously the logic doesn't make sense. You try to land straight up and it's tilting to the right, it doesn't work. But then when you land face flat and your body's flat, you can pop back up real fast and then run up the ramp and probably push the guy off who's basically trolling you. But that's worked for me 100%. I've never fallen off the map unless there's a person to my right or left that lands under me. That's the only time I'll fall off doing that strat. And there's a lot of nice strategies and tips you can use. That's just one I've tried, and it's like, oh, that actually works 100% for me all the time.
Yeah.
You gotta time it right though. If you do it too early, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, or yeah, do it too early or too late. Definitely, sure.
Yeah.
So we actually, it was me, Dan, Adam, and I think Yo-Yo was also with us, and I think Bear was in the party for kind of like support though too. We tried to group up together. Like, oh my god, we were literally stuck in the lobby for like, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes because the servers were acting really weird. And it was just, honestly, oh my god, it was just so irritating. And I almost, at one point, I didn't really, like, say this, and I wasn't really thinking of, well, I didn't really say it on stream, though. I almost thought about, like, stopping the stream and moving on to something else. But as soon as Bear was saying, oh, I can actually get into solo just fine, and I kind of let off from the group, got into a solo game, and be like, you know what, hey, okay, I actually got into a solo game, no problem. So, but then they fixed it, though, so... And that's the best thing with Digital Devolver, is that they'll actually update on Twitter once they fix the situation. And yeah, we were playing with, yeah, like I said, we were playing with Adam because yeah, we were.
You paying attention, Ilphonic? Are you paying attention to this?
Yeah,
you listening to the podcast.
Yeah, just have the entire crew just like listen and just be like, hey, this is what you should do, and fix your glitches and all that. So but to be honest, I'll definitely be even if this game was at, you know, at full price, you know, at $20, I got, like, you know, I got it for like on PS Plus because it was for free on the PlayStation Store, because I was like, okay, I'll definitely like get it. But I would still even pay for this game at full price. This game is super addicting and fun. That's my thoughts at the end of the day, though, on this game. But, like, definitely give it like a, you know, 8. I think it's better than Fortnite. At least that's my take on it. Don't be offended, you know, Fortnite players. If you still play it, that's whatever. You know, more power to you if you play it. But you guys have your game. We have our game. So let's just respect each other's boundaries there. But yeah. Like I said, 8.5 out of 10 is how I would rate the game. So Matt, what do you think, man? What would your overall rating be?
And I have a little bit of bias towards this because not only was it fun for me to play, but because my kids that were around and I had a chance to, they really enjoyed it. Like, even my baby was bouncing for joy watching this game.
Definitely,
you know, like,
sure.
For the 5 minutes that he was in the room, he was loving every minute of it. He's just screaming, laughing, having a good time. My son was loving Alex, the real MVP. Shout out to him. Yeah, it was fun. I'm not gonna say it's like a 10 out of 10 because there is always something to fix in the game.
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, they could do a little bit better with the fixing of their glitches and
I'm right
bugs
there with
and
you
all
with the 8.5. I'm right there with you that rating, but also I'm kind of having a bias towards it, close to a 9, just because it's very enjoyable for kids to play. It's one of those games where it's competitive, trigger-inducing, but it's always fun because your kids can get involved too, or the little ones can join in with you. And that's something that ultimately, like.
All right, so here's a question I do want to ask here before we move on here. Do you think this game will actually have a port to the Nintendo Switch, like maybe like in a year or so, maybe like in a year or two?
Based on the success it's been having, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it doesn't require a whole lot of like epic graphics. I mean, that would be...
Well, remember, ports do kind of like, you know, they got to get together, and they do have to take their time, though, so I'm not expecting it right away, but I would be so shocked if there wasn't a port for the Nintendo Switch. That's just me, though, but I hope it does. Seriously, I feel like this could be, you know, I think it could run well on Nintendo Switch, for real, like it does like on PC and PS4, but... I mean, at the same time, as like I said, I was mentioning, they do got to get together. It does take a little bit of time and effort to like bring ports in together, and especially with COVID-19 reasons nowadays, ports aren't easy to do now, just because, you know, the new normal, we're kind of holed up here in our houses, you know, talking about what companies are doing and how they're, you know, trying to manage to work things out despite COVID-19 going on. So we have to wait patiently for them, and. Like I said, you know, that's all there is to it. That's just, I have nothing more to say on that. But on that note, enough of the Fall Guys situation. Let's listen to some actual news going on. See what's going on here around the video game and sports world. So I want to get to some sports here really quick. We don't really start off with sports, but this involves your Angels, Matt. So... If you guys don't remember, Tyler Skaggs, Angels pitcher, Basically, everybody knows what happened with him. He basically passed away, with I don't remember what it was. It was the drugs. It was the overdose of the drugs that happened. I don't really too much of it, but it was
Skaggs?
Yeah, Skaggs. It was like an overdose, wasn't it?
No, he's actually him was that. I think I'm thinking of Aiden Hart. Aiden Hart got hit by a drunk driver, or Skaggs was
So I'll explain here in a little bit.
Unintentionally overdosed, basically.
Yeah, unintentional overdose. So a longtime Angels public relations employee was charged on Friday with conspiracy to distribute the drugs that were found in Tyler Skaggs' system when the former Angels pitcher died last year. So Eric K. has been arrested and appeared in federal court in Fort Worth, Texas on Friday morning, according to a release date from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Northern District of Texas. And if he's convicted, K. could face up to 20 years in federal prison. And Neely Cox said this in a statement, and I quote, Tyler Skaggs' overdose, coming as it did in the midst of a baseball career, should be a wake-up call. No one is immune from this deadly drug, whether solid as a powder or hidden inside as a little tiny-looking tablet. Suppressing the spread of this is a priority for the Department of Justice. Unquote. So, this is your team, Matt. What do you think about all this? This is just all out of the blue.
Well, I mean, in any aspect of life, doesn't matter if you're a professional athlete, especially with baseball too.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes back to the old saying is that know what you're putting in your body before you put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes the same thing with people that always play dumb when they take steroids. They're like, I didn't know it was steroids.
Oh.
It's like, well, I didn't know it was a banned substance. And like, well, why don't you use your brain?
I'm going to comment on that a little bit, but keep going.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you use your brain, look at the banned substances. There's a list of banned substances in baseball that they can look at and go, you can look at, here's what you do. Here's what you do in your doctor appointment, or when you're with your trainer. Trainer, my back is really, really killing me, man. Do you have any kind of like any legal drugs or legal medicine that I can use to make me feel better? Maybe a balm or something? And they give you this balm that actually is a substance that actually has steroids in it. What I would immediately do is once they say, hey, I recommend this drug, I'll go, okay, let me get back to you on that. Let me check real quickly here on my phone.
You gotta analyze it super closely.
We are in the age of cell phones. Hello, people. So it's not like it's snail mail. We have to wait for 2 days to hear back from a drug person. We can look it up and go, does this said drug have steroids in it? Oh, it does. Oops. Nope. Sorry, dude. Can't take that. Can you have anything else? And keep going from there. And going back to it, painkiller. Is this painkiller this dude is trying to give me illegal to take? I don't like to spit on Skaggs' brave, so to speak, by saying this, but he should have known.
Yeah.
He should have known better. He should have done his research. Honestly, I know when you're in pain, it doesn't matter what you take, but honestly, it's like me. It's like if I have a hip problem, which I actually do have a minor hip problem, honestly, and I look at all the options. I don't look up going, oh, let's just do surgery and be done with it, because surgery can actually have a really bad effect on it. You can be forever changed.
Oh, yeah, whereas, like you could break an actual hip bone, or there's like something could fracture, and all of a sudden...
That, and if you have hip surgery in that scenario, you're the doctor you go in with, there's a possibility that, if they don't tell you, then they should, they could hit a nerve by accident trying to repair your hip, and you could be either paralyzed, or even worse, you can end up having a nerve broken, and then you're like, oh, great, I don't want to be feeling in this one part for the rest of my life. So that's like... But my point is, you have to know what you're putting in your body. You can't just trust these people because they're, quote, professionals.
You gotta do the actual homework. Yeah, there's a lot of people that actually have this problem with that. You gotta do actual homework before you, like, if somebody shows you, like, a prime example of any sort of drug, like, some medical terms. I'm not the hugest expert on medical terms and drugs and all that, but once somebody hands you a certain substance, like... You gotta look online to see what's in there, because if there's something bad in there, then like you gotta let them know. So like, no, I can't take this because there's like either steroids or like certain drugs in there I'm allergic to. I can't take. Maybe that's what happened with Skaggs, because maybe something that was in there that was an overdose. Maybe he was allergic to. I don't know if it was. Can you get allergic to drugs? I'm not an expert. Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
There are certain drugs that people can be. I mean, these days you be illegal to anything like asprin. I mean,
like okay, well that makes sense because I'm allergic to penicillin and sulfa. So I don't know if that's like drug related, but I remember is that drug related? It might be. I don't know. I gotta look at that. So if I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments.
I mean, to kind of not put light on this, I'm not throwing all the blame on Skaggs. I mean, the man who is the expert should be obviously more responsible than the player himself to go, you know what, I think this would work for you, but I've looked into it a little bit more, I've done my research, I don't think this would work very well too. And also, some players will not read. You gotta kind of baby them a little bit and go, you know what though, you can take
and I think
this,
that's our
however,
problem. They won't read it anything whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's like for Skaggs, you should tell him, no, look, Tyler, you can probably take this, just here's two things. Number one, don't take this many milligrams or nanograms or however much they prescribed on it. Don't take more than this because you can have some really bad things happen if you do. Also, on top of that, you should have encouraged him, hey man, don't drink any alcohol if you're going to take this because it's going to have really bad side effects.
It's like the same thing with pregnancy too. If you take like drugs or have like alcohol or something, like the baby's going to end up being bad, and you don't want that happening.
It's proven.
Yeah, because
the autopsy report itself did it. Yeah.
And I know this, and I say the pregnancy part firsthand because I know, Cowboy Nick, God bless his soul, which the story with everything behind that was it wasn't his fault. Obviously, that he turned out the way he turned out. His mother was drinking when she was pregnant with him, so that's how he kind of got seizures every single month, and then he was ADHD and he had epilepsy. So, and that would honestly suck to have epilepsy, because I can't imagine myself like having seizures every month. And thank God my mother's a smart woman for not, drinking, because I would have been like, kind of like, not like, cuckoo messed up, like, like political kind of person, but just like in medical terms, basically. And going back to the steroid part, I did wanted to say something on that with, because Rafael Palmeiro, if you don't remember, this is way back when. This is way back when they had all the steroids and testing and all that. I remember him saying at a press conference, you might remember this too, he said these words, and I quote when he says these words, "I have never taken any, performance-enhancing drugs in my life." You know what happened 2 days later?
Period. So you added that with, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what happened?
Period in it.
Yeah, period. And you know what happened 2 days later?
He got caught with his pants down, basically.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He got tested positive for steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. So
Did he wiggle his finger too in front of him, like, naughty? How dare you say that I take steroids? And
yeah, that's basically what he said.
He completely looked like a fool.
Yeah, and that's why you don't open your mouth in situations like that. Seriously, it's just so terrible. Like, people will do like anything just to like cover it up in the media, and then all of a sudden when you actually get tested, and all of a sudden, bam, the truth comes out into the light, and you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
But
you gotta watch what you say, for sure.
Yeah. It's just basically 100%, not just in sports though, but just like anything. Anything. Anything in today's society, because you never know who could be watching or recording or lurking. Because people will definitely do anything for clout, for sure. Absolutely for sure. But more college football, well, actually not more college football, college football is actually in the news, which I will discuss this here right now, is that there's some conferences, Pac-12, Mountain West, Big Ten, they are all canceling their football schedules due to COVID-19. I don't know if you read this, but it was actually, I saw this on a tweet, it was from Dan Patrick's show on Twitter, that Pac-12 is going to cancel their games. Big 12 and ACC are kind of like up in the air with canceling their games, but however, the SEC, yeah, get ready for this part. The SEC still wants to keep their schedule, but they want teams to join them in their conference in order to play football games. Doesn't it sound like a little suspicious and egotistical? I don't know, it might be just me, but like, what do you think about this whole ordeal with the SEC? Like, they gotta realize at least one thing. Like, there's like health priorities. Like, the kids need to stay healthy. They need to watch, social distancing, and they're trying the SEC. I mean, I never really liked the SEC personally. I just feel like, I mean, I don't hate them. They're just like an overrated, power-hungry, egotistical conference, and I know they're the face of all the football everything when it comes to like, college football. You just normally talk about the SEC, but I just don't like what they're doing. Like, there's health conditions. We're in the new norm, and this is how the SEC is pulling this BS, I should say, which is, it's nuts. It's honestly nuts. But yeah, I'll check out the link here after the stream is over, after the podcast is over. But it's just, to me, it's, I honestly have no, like, this. It's just like a the SEC is pretty much basically pulling a let's just say power-hungry, greedy ego moment over, like, public versus public and safety concerns,
Uh-huh.
But what do you think about this?
I at some point the ego's gotta take a back seat, and they have to realize that there is a reason why there's probably not going to be a season for them. It's not because people are being lazy, it's because I read a statistic today that since this COVID thing has started, 5 million people have been diagnosed with COVID or caught in COVID-19, and about 166,000 have died from it.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a joke. This is actually something that, it's serious crap. I mean, you saw it in baseball in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Almost an entire team, half a team or half a franchise, contracted COVID-19. Now, granted, it might be because of their own stupidity and not following protocol.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's
Sure.
like, you gotta be smart. And these guys thinking like, oh, hey, we combine conferences and together we can have a season. Like, no, you idiot. That's not gonna make COVID go away.
I was talking to somebody last night about this, and they are absolutely right on the money on this, which, they said that, they just like, don't really want to hear anything baseball related, 2020, because it's not the same. And this is a Dodger fan I was talking to last night, because he was basically saying, like, oh, I don't really care for it, honestly. I just don't care what happens. And somebody did give him updates every so often on the radio, because he only has a radio and all that. But at the same time, it's just like, it's even, it's not just baseball, but we got football, they're trying to deal with, COVID purposes, especially, we were talking about the college football, but, even the NFL, like, I'm really concerned about them, too. Because there's a lot of physical contact. How do you think that's gonna, play a role, especially with the new norm in COVID-19? I just feel this is just my personal opinion on this matter. I think they should just cancel the NFL season. This is just my opinion. I know there's a couple preseason games going on. Just cancel all of MLB. Because you have, games being canceled because of people, attracting, getting COVID-19 and the safety precautions for others around them. And I don't know about canceling basketball, because I know there's obviously you can kind of, like, you get near a person, because a lot of the sports are like, they provide, majority of physical contact. Well, apart from, like, golf and some sorts, but I don't know. That's just my opinion on the matter.
I mean, it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time especially with basketball, with how much these guys are, like, all up on each other. There's only a matter of time before they contract the virus, honestly. It's only a matter of time. It's not a matter of college football. At least they're making right calls here, except for, well, apart from the SEC, we don't really talk about the SEC, but yeah, they're a majority of their divisions are going to make the right call, and which is it's kind of saddening. It's kind of saddening, to be honest, because I was looking on college football, and one of the first top stories I get on there is, of course, Mr. the orange puppet himself, Donald Trump, he says that just to call on college football games to resume amid coronavirus pandemic, because he still wants it to continue, apart from that, which is, yeah. Doesn't he know what's actually going on around here?
Right?
And then of course,
yeah.
And of course, you'll have some of the loonies that'll kind of say like, "Oh, people die more from the common flu than COVID-19." But yeah, you should try to just look at the numbers around you, see what's going on.
I'll have to talk to you about that. There was something I saw on a TikTok feed.
Ooh, from last week. Okay.
Well, not from last, but more so it was a TikTok feed from today. I saw it posted, but because we're trying to not stay too political on the channel, so
yeah, we're not saying to say it's too
political.
Yeah,
it's nothing defensive of anything, but it's a really good point that was brought up. The guy didn't even say anything. He just posted two different, I guess, TV broadcasted statements. And it actually was a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll talk about that off stream.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's all good. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because I was looking it up and one of the top stories just involved him. So that's why I just kind of like popped it up here. But it's getting pretty close though, which is more than likely. It's going to be more than likely with the season being canceled. So they said that people were also asking this on Google, and one of the answers was that a cancellation of the 2020 college football season this fall is unavoidable after the MAC canceled its season earlier in the day, and two prominent, Power 5 athletic directors told CBS Sports on Saturday. So, yeah, that's kind of a it's looking pretty much, it's more than like 90% likely it's going to happen, which it kind of sucks that we're not going to get it, but it makes sense with which is like I said many times, it's the new norm.
Yeah.
But
fortunate. Welcome to 2020.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, just 2020, the most unfortunate year, which I know that should not have happened, but like I said, it's basically, like I said, it is what it is.
I would have thought that 2020, the beginning of a new decade, everyone was so hyped about what the new decade was going to bring, and then this just goes, just crushes our hopes for the entire.
That's basically
decade.
What it is. But yeah, it's just so ironic. But we had a lot of high expectations, only just to have that happen. And the Olympics, I think, could have been starting like in I think it should have been like this week too, but they postponed it to 2021, which, like I said, makes sense, just for the athletes' safety and purposes too. But yeah, it's a situation. We're just in a really bad situation right now.
It's really unfortunate, but it is what it is, honestly. And
sometimes we just gotta deal with it.
I'm really wondering if baseball's going to make it to the trade deadline they have at August 31st this year. I really wonder if they're going to make it.
I honestly don't have that answer for you. I mean, I would like them to, but at the same time, I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm keeping my expectations low.
People are talking about like, oh, who's going to be traded at the trade deadline? And I'm like, well, probably nobody.
Yeah, nobody. I don't think anybody's going to be traded, honestly, just because of that.
The only trades that are going to happen are trading number season this was.
Yeah, the view count's going to be extremely low. Extremely low.
I mean, honestly, I give the sports credit. At least if every single season is canceled because of COVID-19, at least they tried. They tried to bring us something. They tried to get past this pandemic, but the pandemic just kicked our butts. The one I'm seeing right now that they're managing really well. I haven't seen any major coronavirus plays, but they're playing in a bubble, of course, themselves. Is NHL, and they've been doing their qualifier rounds.
That is true. Yeah, that is absolutely true.
Oh, by the way, so do you see who the team was that we got the #1 pick in that retarded draft lottery that they set up?
Saw that, but I didn't really see most of it because I saw like a little clip of like a thumbnail on Twitter, but I didn't see who it was.
So basically the big prize prospect who unfortunately was supposed to go to the LA Kings, but then this stupid random thing said the qualifier loser would get it. So now Alex Lafreniere is probably going to go to the New York Rangers, who got the #1 overall pick.
Oh,
they lost their qualifier. So
Yikes.
I think there were a few qualifiers, and then I guess they would take. I'm not sure how they would do it, but maybe the best. I don't know. Better record of the ones that lost. I don't know how they figured this crap out, but
I mean, I've never seen the NHL like draft lottery. Do they have a draft lottery, or is it just the NBA?
They did prior to they have a lottery just like the NBA does, but they had a lottery. But then because of this qualifying thing, they did the lottery later, and they said, well, the qualifier loser or whatever how it was going to be the into the draft as well. So
yeah,
in this case, the #2 overall pick, which in this case, let's be frank here, because of record-wise, it should have been the LA Kings, but it could have been some.
It shoulda, coulda, East woulda.
But you know what, though? The way I view it here is that the Kings got 2 Stanley Cups, and they got the #2 overall pick one year, and they got Drew Doughty out of it, and then Steven Stamkos went to the Lightning. And how many rings has Steven Stamkos won? What, 0? Maybe 1 if he's lucky.
I don't know. I don't know who that is. This is all news to me.
Yeah, the Tampa Lightning actually got him back in the day. So Stamkos was 1, Doughty was 2 to LA, and then the rest is history. Just saying. So
yikes.
You never know. Maybe the Kings will get another diamond in the rough at #2. I don't know.
Well, you just gotta. Well, keep your expectations low. Well, keep your expectations low, especially when it comes to the draft. Every single time. Not just with video games, but with sports too.
But my thing is that with my thing with hockey is it looks like they've had the least amount of cases, at least when they've started. Now, when they were having that off season, I guess that they had before they ramped it back up for qualifying rounds. They had some pretty nasty cases come up, but then they've kind of contained it, and they've done a really good job. And that's a contact sport too, but the difference is that those guys are wearing padding, and so you're not really having skin-to-skin contact, not really like, any kind of sweat fluids or whatever hitting each other or whatever, and none of that nasty stuff. They're all in pads. So I can see how in pads like that, where they're not as exposed and they're covered everywhere.
I mean, it could still contract the jersey still. But that's the other thing they gotta watch out for too.
Yeah, if you sneeze on your jersey or someone else sneezes on you, you're kind of screwed. But,
even if you play with I was gonna say masks on, even when you're playing even helmets. I'm not saying play with goalie masks, but I'm saying have a mask when you're going when you're going outside, you gotta wear a mask. Have them wear those masks, just to keep the breathing off each other. I mean, that would something I would do. Yeah,
they do have those kind of masks for if you you can offer cage masks. Honestly, roller hockey players do it all the time. They wear cages, and you can breathe. It's breathable. You get if someone hits you, you can't get hit by a stick and get a cut open. But a lot of them are stubborn and they want to play hardcore. But if they wore a mask like baseball players do, those little ones that hover over your entire half of your face, and they wore a helmet, they would fog up their lenses real fast.
Oh, yeah. Because you couldn't really see anything. That would be the only downside to it.
They, of all sports, have been a really nice distraction. Baseball has been having too many COVID cases, delaying games. Hockey is straight into their playoffs, and they're not dicking around. Basketball has where here's some exhibitions to qualify, and then we'll go from there. No, in this case, hockey had saying, look, this is how we're going to do it. These 2 teams are going to play best of 5. The one winner of each of these qualifiers. Yeah, they just
go straight to the point, though. I feel basketball could have done the same thing.
Yeah, and then, you know what? I mean, not like it would have made any difference for my Sacramento Kings, honestly. But still, though, that would have been more intriguing to see not just a regular season, but more so of hey, you're facing him, have fun. That's your playoff.
Yeah, I think basketball could have done the same thing, too. Best 3 out of 5. Especially with this state too. It
would have made the season go a lot faster. You would have got to the finals real quickly, and if you needed to, you could have afforded to have days off in between, to have the guys quarantine themselves. Hockey just did an amazing job with that, and they're still doing an amazing job with it. And they're already in they've done with the qualifying rounds, and now they're in their actual playoffs. Now they've established a 1 through 8 seed in each conference. And
there you go. Take notes, other sports teams.
I'm telling telling you, hockey is way ahead of the curve now, and people don't always trash that sport. But I'm telling you, they were ahead of the curve after they got that lockout season. They've learned and they've progressed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow hockey like every so often, like every now and then. But and of course, the realest of all MVPs, Cowboy Nick would always cover hockey, which that's would mostly be his job. Though he would do. Long story short, if you guys don't remember for me saying this, a long time ago in my certain videos, he would always cover the hockey segments every time we did the shows together, and he not just radio, not just radio though, but he did podcasts. He covered local hockey, NHL. When Stockton Thunder used to be the Stockton Heat, well now the Stockton Heat now, which like I said, it's yep, hockey's big in Stockton. Like, it's huge in Stockton.
They should have chose Stockton Inferno. Not to digress. That's the...
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, honestly.
I mean, that was one of the finalists, too. Like, why would we pick the Stockton Heat, not Stockton Inferno? Stockton Inferno sounds like a badass, intimidating name for a hockey team, whereas the Heat. I'm like, bro,
that'll sure... Yeah, one thing is for sure, though. Well, both names did melt the ice.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's just a little pun. I know. Dad jokes for days, kind of bad, but yeah, I really we'll need like a joke night or something.
Kyle, actually, kind of a segue from for hockey to a little bit of the baseball thing, just real quickly.
Yeah.
It's because I only say segue because of fights that happen in hockey all the time. What about that benches clearing brawl with Houston and the A's?
Oh, I remember.
That is so against the COVID protocol.
Yeah,
so much. Oh my gosh.
I saw a little bit of that on Twitter, but I didn't catch too much of it because I was kind of multitasking. So give us the lowdown of what happened for the people tuning in.
So basically, the A's player, I think his name is Laureano or something like that.
Francisco Laureano? Is that who it was?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, or am I thinking of something else?
No,
Somebody else.
The spelling's different. It's Laureano. So it's Ramon Laureano.
I don't know why that name popped up in my head for some reason.
Well, because Francisco was relevant for the first 3 years of his career, honestly. He was...
True.
Him and Johan Santana were, ridiculously filthy. The 1-2 punch with the Twins back in the day. Johan, the real MVPs when it came to pitching. But there was a situation where Ramon Laureano, he got hit twice in the game. Twice. Intentionally. He got hit by a pitch for, three times in the series. And the second time in the game was that one day. And I think it was, he kind of pantomimed towards Humberto Castellanos of the Astros, kind of telling him, bro, you're throwing your pitches towards me. And he's showing with a hand motion, throw forward, release here, release the middle, and you'll get it in the middle. And he's you're going like this and aiming towards me. He's kind of he's snapping off, throwing he's snapping off a slider, showing him how to throw a ball as he's walking to first. But I think what really made the bench clearing brawl is Ramon Laureano. I think he heard some kind of a racial term or something vile of a comment made by the hitting coach, Alex Cintron.
If there's racial terms involved, obviously there's going to be suspensions.
Clearly, this is what he was kind of saying. I think it said that the hitting coach of the Astros, of all people, Cintron, made a vile comment towards the outfielder, Laureano, regarding his mom. Which prompted, obviously, anybody who has someone talk about their mom. Laureano got absolutely freaking triggered, and he ran right at the guy and just started to freaking just wail on the guy. So naturally, all the Astros players and coaches are coming to stop him. And it ended up being a place where Laureano's on the ground and trying to brawl this guy, and people are trying to pull him off, and they're all pushing each other. So basically, they're breaking protocol by everyone to touching each other and everything. But Laureano at that point, to his credit, if you're talking about someone's mother and bad-mouthing their mom, I don't care what the protocol is. I'm going to kick your ass. let's just tell it how it is. Pardon my French YouTube, but Twitch side, of course, as well. But
yeah, just KO them.
if somebody badmouths your mom, you KO them. I don't care what situation you're in. That's just uncalled for. I don't care.
But yet the league is very, very soft about certain situations.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the whole Joe Kelly situations with the whole... The situation where he, kind of made a gesture at the pitcher and it wasn't, physical contact or anything. They suspend him for, 8 games. It's just what? No, it was... Okay, well, we'll talk about that later on, though. I don't like getting into arguments, but,
I think there's something in Spanish he said to him too, but
yeah.
naturally, Cintrone was denying that he said anything about his mother. He didn't detail what he did say though, so it's kind of like, oh my gosh. But the thing is though, is like obviously MLB, like you said, is going to be a bunch of pansies about it and go, well, you broke the coronavirus protocol, strictly discouraging fighting, and so there'll be a lot. No, there's going to be disciplinary actions. But at that rate, Liriano, I support him. I don't support fighting, but I do support him. But the ironic part about this is that Liriano, who's like a young pup, he was actually drafted by the Astros in 2014 and was traded to Oakland.
Yeah, I remember that a little bit. Yeah,
he's become like a real big under the radar star with the A's.
Yeah, I think Oakland's just underrated this year to begin with, but that's kind of like besides the point with the.
Dark Shadow would appreciate me this time around, where. I mean, when we did the rankings, I did not put any bias into it. I looked at the roster and said, you know what? Oakland's been doing it the last 2 years. Why not a third year? They've got the talent. And I had them as the wild card because I really think that Houston might somehow find a way to get to the top, albeit cheating or not. But the A's are going to be in that hunt the entire way. They're not going away.
All right, well, let me ask you something then, a little off topic before we move on here.
Yeah.
Did you even have the Marlins on your list? Let's just put this into context.
No, not at all. Not at all, because I
Nobody
figured
did.
The first few weeks of the season, or albeit at a 60-game season, but the first few days of a season typically are like a spring training where people are like, "Oh my God, they're gonna make it to the World Series," and it's like they're 7-3. Calm down.
It's like don't count your chickens yet.
Exactly. Don't count your friggin' chickens. But I'm actually floored that the Mets and the Phillies have not jumped out to a hot start. I really am. Now, granted, the Phillies have had this COVID thing hit them hard, so naturally they're going to be struggling out the gates because of that, because they don't have their full squad on display. Chicago, I'm not surprised they're there, but the fact that Cincinnati's under 500 right now with that roster, it's like, damn, guys, get the thing going here. But
get your axe in gear, man.
You know what team really is blowing my mind other than the Marlins? The freaking Rockies. Who saw them coming down 11-4?
Yeah, they actually had the lineup to actually, be a potential for like a playoff team, for sure.
Yeah.
Like to actually give the Dodgers some competition, that's saying something.
I mean, I honestly, they probably look at that and they sit there. We look at this line for the Dodgers, and it's just a plethora. It's like a buffet line of talent. They just nothing you see on that team is bad. They're all so good. And then young and talented May is having a breakout campaign so far.
Oh yeah,
and he's a rookie. He can get Rookie of the Year, honestly. The way he's
actually, I think this is his first full season. I mean, obviously he's had a couple of starts. I think it was like a year ago. I know he didn't do so hot, but yeah, they keep improving every time. The Dodgers actually have the legitimate pitching staff to actually improve their pitchers. So that is number one. I think the only weak spot I would see though is if Kershaw can actually maintain his usual self. And of course, like the part of the bullpen too. That's like the only weakness I see with that Dodgers lineup. How
about Chris Taylor, man? Chris Taylor the other day, my brother was over here and he was screaming at the top of his lungs and he caught and double played the guy.
Oh yeah, I love that too. That was amazing. That was when he caught Manny Machado's fly ball and then he threw somebody out for assisted. Out for a double play. Somebody was trying to sack fly home. That was amazing. That was beautiful. I saw a Twitter clip on that. That was actually absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the Padres, man, the Padres also. I mean, watch out for those guys. Those guys are going to be a pain in the neck down the stretch. I can tell you, especially since Tatis Jr. continues to freaking.
Ooh. Yeah, that's another name. That is another name. Exactly.
He's 21 years old. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis Jr., yeah, apart from his dad, like father, like son, he's been doing exceptionally well,
Way better than his daddy did.
Oh, yeah.
Way better. I mean, I think he has a career total of, he's only been in the league, I think, for 2 years, and so far he has a total of 30 home runs in his early career. You know what sucks, though? I was discussing the other day. It sucks because... Let's just say, I'm not saying he's going to be like this. Let's just say Tatis was like the next home home run king down the road. Like, he has his career where he's just blowing out the cover off the ball, and he's close to 700 home runs in his career at the end of his career. At age 21, this is gonna suck for him. Let's just say he has that kind of career. He gets to the point where he's about to retire. He's maybe like 20 home runs shy of the home run record that Barry Bonds cheated to get.
A lot of people have mixed emotions on Barry Bonds. They want him to be in the Hall of Fame, but then others are like, no, let's not get him in the Hall of Fame. But that's a completely another topic for basically another day.
Let's just say he has that kind of career. Clean, mind you. Hopefully clean career. And he's about a few home runs shy of the record, but because of this coronavirus-shortened season, he doesn't get it. It's just, how annoying would that be if, as a player, you're in the back end of your career, you're about to retire in that particular year, you're that many home runs shy, and you're thinking, man, if that dang coronavirus wasn't there, I could have had the record. And I could have retired a happy man with being the best slugger of all time. But, I mean, he could probably get to what's his name, Hank Aaron's record.
Yeah, I would think so. If he actually kept that up, he'll definitely get there for sure. But going on back to some video game news, I want to touch this up real quick. There's a couple things I do want to talk about here. Excuse me. So not really much with Nintendo going on. So apart from the fact that the Splatoon 2 Nintendo North American Open September 2020 tournament is going to be on September 6th, and it goes through the 13th of September of Nintendo vs. Summer Series, and each member from the top team will win a download code prize package. And if you guys want to register, you can go to battlefy.com/Splatoon2 so you get your team registered and all that jazz. And the finals will be live streamed on the Nintendo Twitch page, so be sure to go check that out as well. And we already talked about Pikmin 3 last week because that was like the big thing that talked about ported to the Switch, so nothing really big other than that. But going to our final topic of the podcast, and this is a pretty big one too. So, Call of Duty Cold War 2020, or whatever you guys want to call it. Yeah, Black Ops Cold War, whatever the case may be. So, after an extended waiting period, it appears that possibly we're going to be seeing the next Call of Duty game relatively soon, and Activision kicked off an RNG, or an alternate reality game, by shipping crates to different streamers, including, of course, NoahJ456, which is, of course, Matt's favorite person, winky face. These crates contain projectors, which contained clues that were eventually deciphered into two messages. One of them was, turn 11 white, and Bish, you were here. And those were in quotation marks. So,
and those that's a chess term, yeah.
Yep, that is definitely a chess term. So are you hyped up for this, man? What are you thinking right now?
Considering seeing the fact that the zombie community really came together to try to decipher this thing. I mean, they were...
Oh, well, I mean, the zombie community comes together just to do anything, you know?
Yeah, John, Noah, Chopper had it too. Pizza, of course, got one. Charlie Intel, I'm surprised, got one, which is very...
I think Raffle Waffles, got one, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he might have, but he just wasn't as involved as the other dudes were.
Yeah, because I know he's been going through some situations, like, you know, with his personal life.
Milo, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Milo. Hope he's doing all right.
Yeah. He's a zombie streamer I'll definitely look up, though. Like, I definitely look up if I want to do a tutorial.
He's very, very passionate about that franchise, too. Like, more so than anyone. Like, he's, like, the biggest zombies nerd.
He is.
That's why people love him so much. He's so knowledgeable about it. Him and some other guys. But just the back end of it, once they were done, they figured out pawn to pawn, and then all of a sudden, if something made them go towards a tweet that was put out from Call of Duty News saying this website is an Activision website, and it has a terms of use which links to the Activision official site. So they clicked on it, and they found out there's a picture of a phone, an old school TV, and I believe a clock or a VCR to the right. And on it, in red, it was blinking 8:14, and then it flashed 12 o'clock. Which tells me and tells everybody else that's a teaser for Friday, everybody. That's
it's going to be a teaser because that teaser is going to drop around 12 o'clock, definitely, for sure.
Now it makes me wonder. And this is kind of
If it's going to be Pacific time or Eastern time. I think it might have been Eastern time. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to say though, honestly.
True. They have been kind of weird lately, where they're being more supportive towards the East Coast or the East Coast by putting it at a decent hour. People are wondering if there's going to be a teaser for Cold War, but also something that's relating to Warzone as well. So basically a double announcement. So Warzone getting this, and then possibly maybe they're adding something to Warzone to help them tease more towards. So it's kind of a dually beneficial one where Warzone gets more people to play it because there's probably another side Easter egg like that bunkered Easter egg they had, to where they go into the bunker, try to input a code, and maybe this door in the bunker opens up, and it gives them a new level to where they can then do more Easter eggs to try and reveal more stuff for Cold War. It's a great marketing ploy on Activision's
It is.
part, honestly.
This is probably one of the best ones I've seen in a while.
This reminds me of Black Ops 1.
Like a reimagined of Black Ops 1. I mean, I'm all for any, new Call of Duty games coming out, but like, I don't know, just to reimagine something of a game. It's just like of a classic, I know it's been exactly been like 10, well, it's going to be almost 10 years since Black Ops 1 came out. It'll be like almost a decade, which is absolutely insane. But and that was actually my first ever Call of Duty, fun fact, because multiplayer, zombies, campaign, just absolutely flawless. But it's one of those situations, I think, where, I know it's going to be, no matter what the title is going to be called, and somebody was saying about this, early on, so basically, what they were imagining is that the Zombies Chaos story, if they don't continue with that, they're not going to buy it at all. Which
makes sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
But, if they continue like the Aether, then they're just like, no, they're not buying it.
Because the Aether story is officially over. They said it's over.
Yeah.
Basically
so they'll definitely continue the Chaos story from where they left off.
Yeah. But, if you think about it, Activision had some real fun with the community today, and in a time when the concept of the community is really hard to fathom. And while it was really less, honestly, it was really less fun being an observer, unable to really follow this serpentine path that these streamers like Noah and John were doing, and the websites embarked on. It was nevertheless, it was something unique. And even if it's promoting a video game that could just release a normal trailer, it still was going to make millions of dollars at launch for Activision, just because of the hype that they're throwing into it.
They're raising everybody's expectations. That's going to be their whole job. Because the big big company like Activision, and Call of Duty is such a big major title, they're going to raise their expectations no matter what. That's their whole objective.
Up until this point, honestly, this year, only thing fans have had to go on, aside from... This is something that they've had nothing to go on, aside from the random leaks from Doritos.
Yeah, and obviously Warzone. Somebody was talking about something on Warzone. I don't remember who it was exactly, but that's what...
It had to have been the bunker Easter egg, yeah.
Yeah, like the bunker Easter egg, definitely, for sure. So, I'll probably get it just for the zombies. Like, I've kind of, retired from multiplayer, honestly. So... If the Chaos story continues, I will definitely, 100% be getting it for sure. But if it doesn't continue, then I may not. I might pass. I might pass and just continue my backlog with other games.
That's why I did the same thing with Modern Warfare. With the Modern Warfare game, I downloaded Warzone just to try it because it was free, and it's enjoyable, but
I might go back to it. I put it in the on the shelf for my backlog, and same with the BO4 Zombies. And like I said, I might go back to it. I may, but if not, that's whatever. I got other games that'll keep me occupied for a while. So.
Yeah, plenty. Shoot, this old little kid game one that we got going here.
Oh yeah,
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys is what's new. It's what's in right now. So then everybody's.
It is the Fortnite of our lives without the whole building and all the.
And somebody was actually mentioned. Well, go back to the Fall Guys here real quick before we get off here. So somebody was mentioned if Fall Guys does become cross-platform, this could kill Fortnite. This could definitely kill Fortnite for sure.
Yeah, if they were smart with the battle pass that they have, as we quote unquote call it a battle pass.
There's no battle pass, but they'll probably have one there eventually.
Oh yeah, it's free for sure. Like the first 40 tiers, they're smart though. They have it, and they probably have in their back pocket a whole plethora of good things that they're going to add to it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're being smart. Marketing is doing. Let's just do 40 tiers. If it takes off, we'll add, 40 or 50 more tiers to add.
Like
to
20
the
more, like somewhere around there. Yeah, exactly.
And with the costumes too, people have thrown concept art out there that's just hilarious. One put a Colonel Sanders.
Somebody put Ninja. Yeah, it was Colonel Sanders. Somebody put Ninja.
Oh God.
Somebody put. I don't remember who it was though, but it was Sonic. Was it a Sonic the Hedgehog one? I'm not sure, but I gotta go back and look.
Also could do.
Huh?
Dr. Disrespect.
Oh.
They can also do one for him too.
Yeah, on the YouTube side. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend himself on the YouTube side, for sure. But anyways, you have anything else you want to add, or are we gonna get on out of here?
Happy hunting, everyone. I know I'm going to try this weekend. It's going to be difficult with the boys, but I'm going to try to do some more Avengers beta videos when I have a chance to.
YouTube.com/thebatman98. Go check them out. And on Twitch also. Definitely go hit them up.
When I have chances this week, I'll probably do some more Fall Guys for that, too.
Yeah, I'll definitely be on the Fall Guys grind when I can. But
yeah.
On that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode number 22. And if you guys did enjoy the show, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe on the YouTube side. We're at 10K on YouTube. And if you guys are on the Twitch, if you guys are seeing this, through a replay on demand, I think replays go up for like 14 days, I think, maybe somewhere around there for like Twitch affiliates. Definitely check it out. Definitely tell your friends about it. And with that being said, for Luigi, I'm Mario, meaning he's Matt Man, I'm Kyle the Pug, and we're going to get out of here. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next stream. If you're watching this on Twitch, and podcast reasons, we'll see you guys next week as well. So, #PugBark. Bye!
Adios.